Hi guys, welcome back. It's Mrs. Peterson, that lady who teaches art, and today I'm going to show you how to draw boxes in two-point perspective. This is kind of a practice for our two-point perspective unit. So I'm going to find about the middle of my paper and use my ruler to draw my horizon line. Now, you don't always have to have your horizon line in the middle of your paper. Sometimes you have less sky and more ground, and sometimes you have more sky and less ground. But we're going to just put it about in the middle for our purposes today. And then since this is two-point perspective, we are going to put a vanishing point on the horizon line, but near the edge of our paper. And then the weird part about two-point perspective as compared to one point is you start with the corner. So I'm going to draw just a small straight up and down vertical line in the top left quadrant of my paper. And then that's going to be the corner of my first box. I'm going to draw to my vanishing point the left side, and I'm just lining up very carefully with that top and the bottom of that box, and then I'm going to go straight up and down, and that will be one side of my box. Okay, and I have just a little tail I can erase. Then I'm going to go to the right side, and for the right side I'm going to go to my right vanishing point. So I'm going to go to the bottom, and I'm going to draw over towards my vanishing point and very carefully lined up with it. Notice I didn't go all the way. That's just a lot of erasing in the end. Sometimes you want to start that way, and that's just fine. And I line up very carefully with my dot and with my corner. I need to go just a little bit higher. There we go. And then I'm going to give myself the back boundary by going straight up and down and erasing a little extra. Okay, I have the two sides of my box. Now the bottom is where a lot of students get confused. So we're actually going to go for the bottom. We're going to go from the left vanishing point to the right side, and that's where it gets weird. And then for the bottom left, I'm going to go from the left to the right vanishing point for the bottom of this box. Okay, so there is my first box created in two-point perspective. I start with the corner, I build this side to the left, I build this side to the right, and then the bottom I do opposite. I go from the bottom right to the left and vanishing point, and from the bottom left to the right vanishing point. Okay, let's do another box, but down in the bottom right quadrant. So again, I'm going to line up my paper, my ruler very carefully with the edge of my paper, and I'm going to make this box corner just small down there, and I'm going to go from the top and bottom to the left. Just carefully lining that up. Sometimes students want to put their pencil right here on the vanishing point as a fulcrum so they can make sure they don't accidentally get it in the wrong place, and that's just fine. That's a good strategy. And then go straight up and down for that side. Make sure you know what straight up and down is based on the fact that your ruler is lining up with the edge of your paper. So there's one side of my box. Now I'm going to do this side. I'm going to line up the top to my vanishing point and the bottom to my vanishing point. And then I'm going to go straight down. Okay, so now it kind of looks like when you were a small child and you drew someone like reading a book there. Looks like that, but we're going to make this into a box. Now this is the tricky part. The bottom's and the top, so you kind of do the opposite. You go from the left side to the right vanishing point, and you go from the right side to the left vanishing point. Okay, so there we have those. Now about in the middle of my paper, I am going to do one more thing. I'm going to put a line straight down, some above, some below. We're going to make the letter L in block letter right here in the middle of our paper. So I'm going to go from the front here, the bottom right to the right vanishing point, and this is going to be the bottom of my L. I'm going to do the same thing from the top here. Do from the top And I don't need to go as far with this because I'm just trying to make the letter L in block letter. For the inside, I'm going to go straight down, and that's where a lot of students get confused. This line does need to be straight down. And then from where I stop, so that I can give this the three-dimensional thickness, or I guess the block letter thickness, I should say, I'm going to go from there to my vanishing point, and then straight down. So if this were bigger, it might be more obvious, but this is getting skinnier as it gets closer to this. So this is thicker and this is thinner because those lines are going to that vanishing point. All right, let's do the other side of our L, which would go to our vanishing point here on the left side. So I'm going to carefully line up my vanishing point and the top of my L. And then I'm going to give myself a straight line for that side. This horizon line can go away because you would not see that. Now the trickiest part of this L is this side right here. Kids will say, well, do I go to this vanishing point? Well, no, because you literally just made that line. So from this corner, I need to go to the vanishing point back here. And if my L is only this thick, I don't need to go all the way back. I'm just going to go some of the way back. And then I'm going to make this corner go to my right vanishing point. All right, so now we have our L built, we have our two boxes built. Now let's give these boxes some light. So we're going to pretend our light source is right here. So how would our light be affecting these boxes? Well, on this box, the most light is going to be the bottom, but this side's probably getting some. I'm just going to shade that in lightly. And then this side's probably getting less light, so it's going to be a little darker. Sometimes students will ask me, Mrs. Peterson, how do I know how dark to make the value? Well, you really don't. This is all just made up in our heads right now. We're not looking at an object to know for sure. If this box is a black box and you're shading it, the side slightly different based on the light, you're going to have a lot darker values than if this box is a white box. Another thing that matters is that how bright this light is. Maybe this light isn't very bright. Okay, this side's going to be getting more light of my L. This side's going to be getting less. You know what? Let's go back. Let's pretend that this L is made out of something that's light gray. So this side, even though it's getting a lot of light, it's still light gray. So then this side of the L we're going to make darker. The face, we would call this probably. You should be familiar with the term face from math class, from your geometry sections. That's also the word that we use in art for our three-dimensional forms. And if this part of the L is this dark, then this piece back here is going to be black. It is shaded from a lot of light. Okay, and then our last box. So this box looks like these two sides would be both getting a little bit of light. The one that we don't see behind here is probably getting a lot of light. So let's make both of these kind of a light gray. Neither of them is like directly facing the light. They're both getting a little bit of light gray. And then let's do this side as darker, so away from the light. When you're done drawing your boxes, you need to make sure that you write your name on your paper. First name, last initial. You need to make sure that you write your grade and also the date. And then you can take a picture and turn that in to me. All right, guys, I can't wait to see what you create.